and gentlemen, welcome to the second day of the conference. And this morning we will start with the first topic of today by our keynote speaker. He graduated from medical and he moved to Thailand to about 30 years ago and worked in the jewelry business. And around 10 years ago, he interested in Thai food. Then he do a traveling and research about Thai food. And now he become founder of Thaifoodmaster.com. Please welcome Mr. Aspler Hanuman. And this morning we will talk to each other.
Yes.
And first of all, I would like you to introduce yourself more for the audience.
Okay. My name is Dr. Aspler, but everybody calls me Hanuman. It's my nickname. I go by the nickname Hanuman. I was a physician at a very young age. I didn't think that I could handle the misery of the hospital life at that age. So I moved to Thailand, and of course in Thailand, tropical beaches, smiles, good food, and I was drawn to life here, and it was 30 years ago, but I'm still here. About 10 years ago, I founded Thaifoodmaster.com, which is a website that describes the culinary code of Thai food. When we're speaking about Thai food, it's very difficult to speak about one singular cuisine. There are regional variation. There is the northern cuisine, there is the northeastern cuisine, there is the central cuisine, the south cuisine. There are influences from the Chinese, from the Muslims, and there are about 70 minorities dialects. So when we're talking about Thai food, it's a broad term that not necessarily cover what Thai food is. What we are doing in Thaifoodmaster.com, we are taking a dish by dish and trying to find the layers, the geological layers, the cultural layers, the trade, wars, legends, tradition, and somehow to find the borders of the dish, what makes sense, and through this work we try to convey to our readers how they can take dishes, Thai dishes, and elevate them, modernize them, or stick to the roots within staying in the context of the dish, what brought the dish to present day.
Because of the variety of tradition within each dish. And I also know that you travel a lot. Now you have a farm in Chiang Mai.
Yes. In the last 3 years, we purchased 6 acres or about 25 dunams of farmland in Sirikit district of Chiang Mai. Our vision is to create a food forest where we will be more or less self-sufficient and try to recreate the old
also today we're going to talk about a small group of Thai people up north, which is, I just realized by talking to you about 2 days ago that I have 12% blood in me also. It's about Thai ethnic people. So I would like to ask you first, can you explain about Thai ethnic people?
Thai ethnic people is a very fascinating group of people. Originally, basically they speak, they are called Thai because they speak the Thai language, the family of language. They spread from northern India through Burma, Laos, Thailand, China, Yunnan. I think there are the Shan people. There are about 3 or 4 million of them, and then there are subgroups like Thai Dil and Thai Khmer and Thai Dila and even more than that. What's interesting about them is that they migrated from Yunnan or Sipsongkhana and arrived to northern Thailand, where they merged beautifully with the local Hanuman at the time, because the language is very similar and their tradition is very similar to those who lived in the Hanuman at the time. What's interesting about them is that they accepted the Buddhist tradition, but they did not forget the belief in spirits and ghosts, or Openiki, that they call it. So they practice both Buddhism and some kind of animism. From the culinary aspect of the Thai people, it's very interesting because it's like a group that is frozen in time. The area is not very approachable by road. I think the train to Chiang Mai was opened only in 1920, so less than 100 years ago. I remember trips that took me 300 kilometers to do 3 or 4 days. So their culinary tradition is very frozen in time. So it gives us a glimpse of what the culinary tradition would be in that area, in less visited area.
So they live in the mountains and a small village in the north, like that.
Well, there are a few groups. The Thai Dil people are people who live in plains area around rivers. There are rice growing communities. They live through the rice plantation circle. And then there are those who live on the high elevations, but these are different ethnic groups. The Thai Dil usually arrive from Sipsongkhana or Yunnan through the river's banks. The reasons for their migration south is threefold. The first reason is probably just seeking new grounds to cultivate rice and going and spreading southwards. The second one, I think, it is escaping political situation in that area when the Chinese massacred them, so they escaped to northern Thailand. In their tradition, they are talking about epidemics or disease that they suffer, and
relocated many times, and they still carry their own traditions with them.
Yes, they do. In Chiang Mai, I live in a village that is mostly Thai. If you, the Thai are known for their textiles. They do beautiful textiles. They are known for their metal smithing skills. They do swords, and they are mostly farmers, rice growers, and therefore their entire ceremonies and traditions are like any other rice growing communities in the area. Plus their belief in spirits or what they need to eat. I think one of the ladies that I know in the village, she told me when a young man came to escort her and offer her marriage. So if he by mistake stayed later, like after it became dark, she couldn't leave him a candle so he could find his way. And if she would leave him the candle to find the way, it's weekly. It is against the tradition of the spirits, because they believe that the spirits of their ancestors live with them in the same house. So the spirit house where you see in Thailand next to each building is for the spirits of the land. So they have a spirit house within their house for the spirits of the family.
Well, there is one of the things that they still believe and carry until today. And I think we know background of Thai people, and now we would like to know about the Thai dessert.
Thai dessert. Dessert is something which is very fascinating, but let's not call it dessert, because dessert is something that you eat after the main dish. Let's call it sweets. Sweet in Thai, when I say Thai, I mean Thai, the Thai race. Sweet in the Thai race is
Not the Thai people.
not the Thai people. I mean Thai. Sweet is not a flavor that is thought after as it would be in the West. So let me try to make some order. We all know that Muslim food is very, very sweet comparing to Western food. Ask yourself why. It's not because they have more sugar than other. It's probably because that in the Quran it says, show your faith by eating sweet. So sweet and religion are going hand by hand. Sweet is a very rare flavor in nature. You have to climb the tree, fight with the bees to get some honey. You have to find the exact tree with ripened fruits, and you cannot carry them all back to the village. So sweet is not a very common taste in nature. Sacrifice. Sacrifice is an act that united men kings and God for many, many years. It was a tool by the state to show power, to ask for good wishes, and only the rich could do the act of sacrifice of animals or for meat. When in India the Buddhist religion started the central cuisine of the kings and rich people, where they indulge on meat, on wine, on spirits to show their power. They will eat a lot of meat to gain physical power. And on the other side, the ascetic cuisine of the Buddhists will go after sought after ingredients that are rare but have a spiritual aspect to it. Let's say grains, sugar, and ghee or fat. Sugar and fat and ghee are very, very fascinating because in old days people were bothering with alchemy. They were trying to find the real essence of matter by applying heat. And what happened when you take milk, which is a volatile product, and gets spoiled in the sun, or you take cane sugar juice, which is fermented in the sun, and you apply heat to it, you create two products that stands the heat of the tropical weather. You create ghee, which is stored well, and you create sugar or jacquerie, which is also stored well. So this kind of refinement of ingredients that can get spoiled by using heat is exactly the same thing as for the Buddhists as taking your thought, practicing meditation, and increasing your intelligence. The Chinese used to say the tea is a bush, the waters are its friend, but the fire is the teacher of the tea. So fire as a teacher, as a symbol for refinement, made grain, sugar, and fat very, very, made them as a symbol for mental enlightenment and improvement. So that's why I think it's very appealing to the Buddhist community to do sweet things that are made based on what Buddha ate. Lord Buddha ate rice and grains and ghee and milk and fruits and fish and eggs. But in most of the ingredients that were part of Buddha's menu, they made sweet. And they made sweet, which is not easy to create. Because rice, not like wheat, has no gluten in it. It has amylose. So by kneading rice dough, you don't get the structural tense of the product. What you have to do is to cook it, boil it partially, and then pound it, like you see in Japan when they pound the miso. You have to create to mix the partially amylose parts of the rice in order to create a structural thing. So you don't see people doing sweets at home because it's labor intensive. And here there is another interesting point where in a rice growing community, when it's time to pick the crops, you need everybody to come and help you. So doing a few ceremonies when everybody is helping to do the sweets
for the king to show the power, and the other book is for the monastic, and the food for the monastic bring somehow like wisdom that means sweet also. And then in the rice field community, they have to share to each other by working together, cooking together, and having meal together. So it's mean they share everything to each other like that. And that's happened in Thai community.
That's happened in Thai community when the rice starts to mature. They will pick the grains that are still unmature. The starch still didn't really developed. It's green. They call it kama, and they will take just a little bit of it and we'll pound it, and we'll do different desserts out of it. The first family that will manage to get the kamau and have kamau, they will feel blessed and they will feel honored in the community that they managed to be the first, but they are not sitting at home and enjoying it. They are standing in the house and calling passerbys, and they mixing it with some coconut juice and some sugar and with a banana and make a kama look and sharing with everyone else.
So, what is the characteristic of Thai food that you can speak?
Thai food is not very sweet. They don't add dessert or sweet things just for the sake of it. Sweet is only one of the flavors. It's very interesting that in their language they use the word jam, and jam can be either too sweet or too salty. They don't differentiate with. They will say jam or jam, but it means jam too salty or too sweet. But anything that is too to any direction, they don't like it. They self-sufficient. They will eat a lot of herbs. Their food will be very polite on the palate and on the stomach. And in their sweet, they again are very, very simple. They don't use food coloring. They have maybe 5 or 6 ingredients for maybe 10 or 15 dishes that are mostly used in ceremonies. It's not like going to a Belgian candy store, visiting a Thai village. You don't find a lot of sweets. You find sweets.
They just have a few menu, a few cuisine of sweet and not too fancy.
Very simple, very humble, and some of them very labor intensive.
So, do you have any picture of that?
Yes.
Because it's going to be able to see it clearer. For me, because when I listen to you, it seems that it's plain, not so fancy that the sweet that we used to.
In the next few slides, I think we have about 20 of them, so bear with me. I provide the name in Thai, and the name in Thai rice, purple rice, and some kind of what we call namon, which is Google translated for gorilla seeds. It's small round seeds, very nutty, very aromatic. Very, very simple. You pound everything together into a cake, then you grill it. There isn't anything better than that in a cold day, and it gets colder. In a cold day, to get one of those cakes, either with salt or with oil or with sugar cane jaggery, unrefined sugar that they make into sweet. They usually will serve it in the New Year, but you can find it almost all year round. There are few versions of this. This is katamna or kapo. You can have it grilled, or you can have it as a cake. Not sure if you can have it. They're both grilled, but one is in a pancake kind of a flat one. This one is you can buy it for like 15 or 20 baht. It's filling. You in the cold weather, and it doesn't take much. It really doesn't take much. So let's see the second one. The second one is again very simple: sesame seeds or vanilla seeds, just mixed together, pounded together with jaggery, with a little bit of sesame seeds on top of it. This is natam oil. This is so easy to make that if you ask Thai persons what is the easiest one to do, they will say this one. And for this dish, they will serve it also in cases that somebody passed away alone in his house, and nobody had a feeling they found somebody dead in the room. So in order to call the spirit and say, hey, you are dead, you can go and continue the cycle of rebirth, they will serve this dish in the room where the deceased died.
You mean if I die?
No.
I mean if I die and I didn't realize I died yet. But when I see this kind of sweet, I will realize that I died already.
Well, let's define the die. Your spirit will. I think the eye is not relevant anymore. But your spirit will see this oil and will realize that he is not among the living anymore, and will continue the karma cycle of rebirth.
I will realize that I'm in the other position of life already.
And they do it not in every case. They do it only in cases where nobody was with the person who died, or the person died unexpectedly alone.
So it has meaning in this kind of spirit too.
made from this milky liquid. They will use the ingredient as the name of the kanong, like konjac egg or red sticky rice. In other cases, they will use the name of the equipment that they use to do the they use the name of the tool that. But here they cook the rice in bamboo. The bamboo is the simple way is just sticky rice, a little bit of salt and water. Here they use Japanese syrup, sesame, and they top it with ground peanuts. In central of Thailand, you'll find it with coconut cream, peanuts, and another addition. Here we keep it simple according to what we have learned.
So it's many ways to call sweet or dessert in Thai. It depends on the ingredients or the way we cook it.
And this one usually, again, in the winter, they New Year Eve or for the ceremony where they piti tawai kamai, when they get the new crop of the rice, they will use kola. They use kola, and they will use also kati, which is konjac, which is sticky rice covered with egg, grilled on charcoal.
Do they have any meaning for this thing that they eat on New Year's Eve?
Again, the meanings will be around good luck, sharpening one's wisdom, increase one's spirituality, all going back to what we were talking earlier in the talk. They aren't meaning different than that. The next one is matupayat or koti, or how they call it kauyaku. This is very common dish in Buddhist societies. They do it either on the third lunar month or the sixth lunar month, when Buddha gave his teaching, or the day that commemorates his enlightenment, his birth, enlightenment, and death. To do this dish, only virgin girls can do and prepare it. They all wear white. They should have 5 ingredients in this dish, which is beans, rice, sugar, fat, and fruits. For beans, you can have anything. You can do peanuts or whatever you have. Rice, any kinds of rice will do. Sugar, any kind of sweet will do. From honey, it depends. It's really flexible. Fat, anything from coconut cream to ghee, anything that is fatty, and fruit. she will do it with Hong Kong. Yes, the next one is Khao Niao Deng. The reason I brought Khao Niao Deng here is very, very simple dish. Sticky rice in the center of Thailand with coconut cream. Again, sugar, jaggery, a little bit of salt and sesame topping it. It's not very, very different from the previous dish, khao tim. It's only simpler. Again, they use it as a winter dessert.
So you mentioned a lot about the sweet that eat in any season.
Yes, they divided their sweet. They divide the sweet into winter, and then summer, and then for the whole year.
Three groups of sweet that they eat.
Three groups. So we are still in the winter area. So in the winter, usually they celebrate either New Year or the frost or the new rice. So the next one is Buat Lukeo. Buat Lukeo is the ordination of a monk novice in the Thai culture. In central Thai, it is custom that boys will ordinate after they are 21. In their society, they get more karma points if a young kid will ordinate. I think they say that the kids are innocent and they are free of bad intentions. So the family get more karma points when they have novice ordinate. It's usually a big festivity with a lot of kids ordinating together, and there are two dishes that they used to eat in this ceremony. One is one of them is the omat. Again, rice or white rice with sugar, a lot of effort. For a few hours, they will cook the rice, and they will add sugar to it, and then they will spread it. They will spread it into trays and will cut it. They will eat it together with the next one, which is kauka. And this is again, they take the rice, they pound it, they steam it over a cloth, and then dry it in the sun, and then grill it. This is very crunchy, it makes the sound of crunchiness. I think in one of the legends, one of the bad women took a few of this, put it under her pillow, and say that she has bone pains, and the sound of made it convincing that she has bone pains.
Actually, it's the sounds of the top one.
Yes. This is Kauto and oil. Let's go to the next one. This is summer dish. You can see they steam from left to right. They steam the sticky rice, and then they create a jaggery syrup, and then they move it into a big pestle and mortar, and they pound it very thin. Then they add the syrup or the sugar, and then they create some kind of a dough. They use egg to wash their hands. And then the next slide, please. And then they create large they spread it flat, and then they cut it into small pieces, and then they cook it in hot stones until it puffs. So it's quite labor intensive. 2-3 ingredients, and they really find the hard way. And again, in order to bring the community together for what's in front of them. And the next one is Convened. Today in the West it's a health food. Again, sticky rice, leftovers of sticky rice, dried in the sun, and then either fried or grilled. And on top of it, you can have either savory or sweet toppings.
I noticed that Convened is one of Ajahn Brahms, the coordinator of this conference, very sweet. He really is.
So this is one with on the right is the sweet one, on the left is plain. Okay, Totem is it's a rice soup called rice soup. The rice soup in central of Thailand, or what we call kache, is very complicated dish to prepare with about 12 side dishes. For them, it's only steamed gelatinous rice, sticky rice, sugar syrup, and a powder that they create from dried in the sun sticky rice. Very simple, very refreshing. But not complicated.
So this one is very totally different from the central Thai culture.
Totally different. The central one came from the Mon tradition and has 12 side dishes, which is very complicated, elaborate dish. This is very simple. Lochong is the same as the lochong that you find in central Thailand, but this is again rice flour, jaggery coconut with calcium or pickling lime to create more texture and body to it. The name in Thai means escaping through a barrier, and this is usually to symbolize overcoming obstacles, because you manage to escape through a sieve when they press it, steamed. We are still with the same basic ingredients, all year round dish. Khanomo, I like it very much, this dish. I find it in markets all year round, 5 baht per dish. Very chewy, very sticky, very sweet, very nutty. From ingredients say it's only sticky rice, dough fried with syrup sugar.
It's like a donut.
Yes, it's like a donut. It's like a Thai donut. Okay, here we are entering a domain of desserts that are not purely Thai. They are more gourmet. Otherwise, the first one of them, or is coming from the word halwa. In Arabic, halwa means sweet. This is rice that is cooked for a long time with coconut cream and white sugar, and then let set in big trays. On top of it, they will put coconut shreds and will lead it down and will create a very common, a very simple way to create crème brûlée. They don't use torches; they basically lit the entire tray up. Otherwise, the first one, and then we have the same bag. Again, the same idea. You can see the burning sign from the homemade brûlée. They use here sometimes red sticky rice, so it becomes red. This one. Sweat. I think this is a gourmet dish. In Burma, they will do it with semolina. Here they do it with sticky rice. Again, coconut cream on top, and burning. This is an interesting dish, very hard to find these days. Very similar to the first two. This one is covered with poppy seeds. Poppy seeds are not legal, are illegal. So to the right, this is how the dish should look. To the left, this is how it's sold today, because there are no poppy seeds available. And I thought of concluding this presentation by showing what is referred to as the oldest Thai dish at all, which is the Tom, which is the Indian presenter yesterday, the keynote speaker, mentioned the madoka, or the boiled dessert. This is again, inside there is a filling of jaggery that is melted. And this is more or less the entire repertoire of Thai minorities sweet. When I say the entire repertoire, there are a lot more. there are no anymore. It's not that I've selected. I brought everything that I could find on their dessert traditions. There are a couple of more. Sometimes they will use saku or in broth, but most of it will be tola, or in bamboo shoots, or koto mat, and that's it. And you see how beautiful it is. It's only with the ingredients shaped the central Thai cuisines. What shaped the central Thai cuisine, you had the influences from the Portuguese, the European, the court. I think you got like, you had to serve to the royals 4 or 5 separate new desserts a day, which had to combine, work together as a dish. They didn't suffer from those necessities. They live in the rice fields. They respect nature. They respect the spirits of their ancestors. And this is how their culinary members are.
And is there anything Thai food that you would like to share in the last minute?
About Thai food?
Thai food. Anything you would like to share?
About Thai food in general?
Yeah.
Yes, I would like you to, if possible, when you speak about Thai food, please don't speak about balancing tastes. I know that people are saying, the beauty of Thai cuisine is the balance of its taste. Tastes are not elements that can be balanced, but they can be layered. Think about taste in layers. When you build layers, there is logic behind building layers. Usually the umami and smoke and fat will be in the center. This will be wrapped with dry spices, elevated with herbs, and cut through with sour fruits. So when you encounter Thai food or Thai dish, try to look at the flavor and the flavor profile in 3-dimensional way, and try not to use the word balancing flavor.
So today we get a chance to know more about the minority food, which combine from the mainstream food, and also they still keep their own style of living by living easy and simple in their own life, and show them to the food and the way of living, like your presentation. And we also know about the meaning of the food that we offer to the monastic. It has meaning inside that to sharpen their wisdom from the sweet. So by myself, I'm really impressed about